That's a good movie. I swear to God, if you go higher than a 6, we're done.
And we're back.
Good morning, wherever you are. Good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching this. This is episode 23 of Into the Movieverse. We are so pleased to bring you the long-awaited Good Time review.
Yes.
It has been countless episodes of me asking to see this movie.
5.
And we'll talk about the thoughts. But to kick off, just to get straight into it, for anybody that is clicking to see Kenobi or Stranger Things discussion, I'm not going to really go too deep into Stranger Things. I literally only watched the first episode today, and I don't know. Have you ever watched Stranger Things, Cody?
I have not. I have not
No,
seen
you
it. Not a interest of mine. I know it's extremely popular and it's booming. What season is this that just came out?
This is 4.
It's the final season, right?
I think so.
I think they said it was the finale or something like that.
Think?
I'm pretty sure.
If it is, I can live without it. To be honest, like I'm not too
attached to it.
too into it. Like I'm not, like I can live without it. I enjoy watching it. I think it's a good series. But we were just talking about it yesterday. Like if this show wasn't set in the 80s, like it probably wouldn't do as well.
It wouldn't have its like gimmick.
It wouldn't have its charm.
Yeah.
The gimmick. Yeah. But everybody grew up so fast, so it's kind of like, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. It definitely is a very dark feel to this season compared to the last seasons. Like, they showed a lot of pretty dark stuff, and I'm not going to mention that because like I don't want to spoil it for anybody. And these are going to be spoiler-free discussions. But it's pretty dark and pretty gruesome. So I was surprised at the level they went to for the first episode even. But onto some better things, Kenobi, which I am shocked that Kenobi and Stranger Things literally dropped at the same time, because that's a lot.
Yeah.
Like that's competing right there. So Kenobi, two episodes dropped. The full season of Stranger Things is out, obviously. But two episodes dropped for Kenobi, and wow. I am pretty happy with the first 2 episodes. CG work is amazing. Story writing is great. Ewan McGregor coming back as Kenobi is some of the best. This is one of the best feelings. Like I literally got chills watching it and seeing him.
Yeah, that's probably the one reason I'll end up watching it is just because of him.
You'll have to see it. Like, I know like you're not a fan of past the Clone Wars or whatever, but like if you're just a fan of Kenobi and Darth Vader and stuff, like you have to watch.
Like
this.
Kenobi, Ewan McGregor as Kenobi is like my favorite. Like episodes 1 through 3, the prequels are my favorite Star Wars movies. Mainly because of the incredible lightsaber combat and stylized filmmaking.
What's up, Beefer?
How you doing?
Well, okay, so we lost.
Good to see you, man.
We lost Fuzz. I'm so lost.
Yeah. So
I miss Fuzz.
Let us know, Beaver, if you have seen Kenobi or Stranger Things. We're kind of just doing a little bit of a discussion about that before we get into Good Times or Good Time. I am going to watch it. I can't right now because I promised a coworker, shout out if he's here, that I would watch One Piece because I have thought about watching it for a long time, and the only thing holding me back from watching it was the fact that it has like hundreds of episodes. Luckily, they're only 20 minutes long, 25 minutes, but apparently it's an amazing show. So I found like I found 4 seasons on Netflix, the first 4 seasons, and I told him, like, I'm going to get into it, I'm going to dive in, and, apparently it's one of those shows where, I feel you, Biffer. It's getting a little old. I'm gonna bring up your comment in just a second. There's there's a lot of anime shows I don't watch just because like I feel like a lot of times you know those people that watch anime just because it's anime, but sometimes anime shows are like groundbreaking, really good shows. It's not just about them being anime; they're just really well done animated shows. And apparently, One Piece is one of those shows. Just like
I've
for
heard
me,
a lot about it.
One Punch Man was that for me. Was like it's one of those animes that gets you not really into the genre, but it's just one of those shows that's really good that you can really enjoy regardless of if you're an anime fan to begin with. And so he's telling me like he has a friend who never watched anime, got into One Piece and loved it. So that's my next venture. And he told me that what I should do is, you know how you do the 60 seconds, is that I should post like as I watch One Piece, since they're short episodes, just do like 30-second reviews of every episode in order. And apparently like those kind of like One Piece things are very popular, so I was considering it.
Then we start getting into like the anime fans.
Well, no, but it's a bigger crowd, but it's not just like listen, we watch animated movies. We can't just like say like, oh, now the animated fans are here, because anime is just Japanese animation. We can't, what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like.
No.
I'm considering it. I wouldn't post 100 reels to our homepage. It would be like reels that don't go to the home, maybe the first one or every couple big ones, like a season review. But
those do a season.
Yeah, and I think it'd be something fun. Biffer, I agree with you. In terms of Netflix, that used to be for me. Like I'll speak personally, then Luca, you can give your thoughts on this. Personally, I used to love Netflix shows. House of Cards was one of the best shows I ever watched before the third season. Really enjoyed that kind of stuff, but then kind of went downhill. Disney, my only problem with Disney is I know having a lot of content is awesome, but when it comes down to it, I only have time for so many shows, and especially they just announced a new Star Wars one that got a trailer. Endor just got a trailer, the show. It's like a follow-up to Rogue One. No, it's a precursor to Rogue One, and it's like these are characters in a time period I don't care about. It feels like a money grab because they know people are going to watch this after The Mandalorian, which was, just an amazingly well-done show that I enjoyed what I did watch of it because the director, Jon Favreau, is amazing. Feels like the rest of it is like, all right, people ate up Mandalorian. Let's just take all the great parts of that and keep pumping it out. And it's like, listen, I like the break, especially with Marvel. I love that 1 to 2 year break of the huge films. You get to like get ready, get excited, and now it's like I can't watch a Marvel movie without a trailer coming out. Yeah,
they're trying to blend the TV and the movie sector together, trying to make a TV show more movie. Like that's why movies have gone from like an hour and 40 to like almost 3 hours, and TV shows have gone from 20 minutes to almost an hour. Like the first episode of Stranger Things was an hour 20.
Yeah, that's
straight up a movie. That is straight up a movie.
I have the problem with it because like I used to be a very big fan of the CW network and their shows because they were so comic book accurate to the DC stuff. All the shows eventually went downhill. The Flash, the first 2 to 3 seasons were amazing. Then the rest were kind of like corny, really corny, bad animation. But they pumped a lot of money into the first 2 seasons, and they were incredible to me. My only problem was they had like Flash, Arrow, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow, and so they had all these shows.
Got boring so fast for me.
The first 2 seasons of Flash were incredible, but everything else got boring for me as well. But you finished the first 2 seasons, right? Because those were great.
I got up to like season 4.
Oh no, you're way past. Yeah.
I'm just laughing at it. I'm laughing at my own like sort of joke because the Flash is fast and the show got boring fast.
Yeah, I mean. The first 2 seasons were great, but my problem with those shows is they would have these what I loved about it was they had these mid-season, like, at the very beginning, it was just Arrow and Flash, right? And if you watched both shows, they had a crossover episode, and it was great because it incorporated both shows, but the problem was, once they had 6 shows with a crossover incorporating 6 shows, you're like, I can't keep up. Like, a crossover between 2 shows, that's fine, but 6 shows with all 6 plots combining, I'm like, if you hadn't paid attention or you just hate one of the shows, you're screwed.
That's just poor.
Yeah.
That's just on their part.
So and
But-
yeah, that was some of the crossovers each had it was like a 6-part crossover, but episodes 1 through 6 of the crossover were each on a different one of those shows. So this is my problem with Marvel is right now is it's getting too much for me. You know, some of the projects I'm excited for, like but yeah, long story short,
we still gotta watch Morbius. I'm not sure when we'll do that.
yeah.
But that's definitely on the list of things to watch. I know I've heard things that it was like pretty bad. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But let's get into good time.
Yeah, Biffer, you want good time? Let's get into it.
I will start off with, I had high expectations for this movie. Very high expectations. And I don't know if my expectations were met. Because when I'm told that this is possibly one of Robert Pattinson's best performances, like, I don't know what I expected out of the movie. Like, I don't know if I expected more of a build-up to the bank robbery or what. Like, I felt like it was kind of fast-paced. And the studio that did this movie, they've put out some great stuff, but I'm just kind of
I recognize one of those beginning movie creditors.
Heart attack.
Gave me a heart attack. Morbius wasn't that bad. Okay, I mean, I do want to check it out. I like Jared Leto way better as a musician than an actor, but I'm willing to give it a shot.
Why do you think Good Time gave you a heart attack?
Yeah, I'm curious about that.
Am I missing some sort of connection to this movie? Because
I will give you one fun connection to this movie was that the main outfit he wears by the second half of the movie, he has the gray sweatshirt and the orange jacket. Mm-hmm. That is the first villain, not the. Do you remember the first goon you see in the Batman robbing the gas station?
We talked about this.
Yeah. He's got the same outfit.
This is a really
interesting... It's too intense. It was very intense. That is one thing I'll give it credit, was like, I don't like when something's cringy or like... Well, like, I get anxious when there's something... When you know someone's about to get caught like that and you're scared, I get anxious. So yeah, I know what you mean by that.
Damn. Now, see, I almost wish that I didn't have to rent it, because I would have gone back with a different mindset. I think I was just so caught up on the analyzation of the characters. And what's interesting too is that the brother that gets
Nick,
whatever. He plays a Jedi in Kenobi, and I was looking at him, and I was like, I had seen that guy from somewhere, and he plays a Jedi that ends up getting like hanged or something.
That's nice.
But yeah, like, I was like, hey, look at that. I didn't really care for that character. I don't know why. Like, I just didn't care. Maybe that was my problem. I couldn't get the emotional connection to the movie.
I have Showtime, so if you want to watch it again, let me know.
Oh, it was on Showtime?
Yeah, I have Spotify, so you get Showtime and Hulu free. Yeah, so I watched it there. I do have a very funny story about this movie, not related to the review of the movie, but just really funny. Maybe it's not funny and it's just in my head. So there's a scene. I have a friend who is an actor. Okay, I went on vacations with him with my grandparents, and he's not like
talk about
so
friends in high places.
No. Okay, so he was in Men in Black. And I don't know if you guys remember the scene, but there's a scene in Men in Black where the alien goes to steal a truck, like a tow truck. And basically the tow truck driver looks at the alien and like pulls out a gun. He's like, please, don't even try. And that was him. And he does like smaller roles like that. So I'm watching Good Time, And do you remember the scene where Robert Pattinson's character gets to the hospital and he asks the nurse what floor the cops are on?
Yep.
That guy, that doctor eating his lunch, is a friend of mine. So I saw him and I was like, no way! I was like,
wow.
That's so funny.
The Pattinson brother was played by Benny Safdie.
I'll see if I can find it.
I mean, I don't have any. I'll tell you. I don't have any problems with the writing, with the visuals, with the character development. I don't have any issues with that. I just I thought everything was executed very well, and I could see why people would say that this is Pattinson's best performance. He really took on the role, and he did one hell of a job.
Yep.
I feel like since Batman came out, I think Batman was a better performance. I don't know why. I don't know why I would say that, but I just feel like that. And,
he directed it.
But I can see, this shows Pattinson's versatility. He's not just an action guy, or he really took on this character, and you almost kind of forget that it's Robert Pattinson in a way, and everything was fine about the movie. I just felt underwhelmed. I don't know. I don't know. I just
Did you see Biffer's comment about the director?
Yes.
Yeah. No, I want to agree with you. From the moment the movie started, not from the moment, but from the first minute we see Pattinson, I instantly was astounded because I was like, that's not Robert Pattinson. Literally a minute into his acting, I was like, he's doing such a good job at being someone else. And I know that's an actor's job, but there's not a lot. Sometimes you look at an actor and you're watching, that's Will Smith. You can watch any movie. You're like, that's Will Smith.
But some actors, you're just kind of you can't get past.
Yeah.
Their certain
and
roles.
Robert Pattinson just I think on a deeper level, emotionally, you can tell in his face and his eyes that he's just someone else. And I think that's really rare in acting, and he does a great job at that. Every movie we watched with him, I'd say, Batman, Tenet, Lighthouse, they all truly feel like
and
different.
We're seeing the spectrum.
Yeah, and we've seen action movies, horror movie, basically.
We're seeing the spectrum of Pattinson.
Yeah, and I think ITM is a big Pattinson fan base.
I mean, what's there not to like about it? I want to go watch. There was another one of his that was sort of low rated. And I mean, I know we've done a lot, and I think definitely for sure, Cody, we need to find the time to go see Top Gun.
Oh, for sure.
I think that needs to be our next movie. So we have to find the time for that. And but yeah, I definitely want to explore all of his work. And honestly, we should get a little playlist going of all of his movies. But I really that's why we were planning on this being a quick podcast, just because this movie is so simple, at its core. In Twilight, I've already seen Twilight.
No thanks.
When I was younger. But even back then, even though Pattinson was young, and that was probably some of his first acting gigs, he still wasn't horrible in those movies. Yes, it was awkward.
The movies were bad, but it wasn't. I think it was more her acting. I forget her name, the actress who played the.
Oh my god, what the hell's her name?
It made no sense that his character, the vampire, had his character, the vampire, right, had very little emotion, was dark. Makes sense, but then you have to pair him with a girlfriend who's the exact same way, and it just it makes no. There's no spark or connect. If you're gonna, so. Yes, Kristen Stewart. Thank you.
Kristen Stewart, yeah.
Yeah. So, but he's just we've enjoyed every movie he's been in. I still think my favorite movie with him, well, obviously the Batman, but also Tenet really struck a chord. His acting in Tenet, the way he's so upbeat, you really don't see that with him in a lot of roles. At least I haven't. very upbeat, very cool, very like, can't tell. He has to play dumb so that he doesn't give away who he is.
I would love to see him play like
High
a
Life
spy movie.
Yeah, I mean, I bet you there is. I bet you there is. We just haven't. I guess we're just gonna keep. This is just the Robert Pattinson podcast now. High Life. High Life looks very strange. 82% Rotten Tomatoes. Monty and his baby daughter are the last survivors of a damned and dangerous mission to outer reaches of the solar system. They must now rely on each other to survive as they hurdle towards the oblivion of a black hole. Okay, I'm actually down for this because it looks like
5.8 on IMDb.
But it's Pattinson and it's a sci-fi horror about space, and I'm down. Oh, it's A24 again. What else has A24 done? They've done The Lighthouse. That's what it was. We saw A24 from The Lighthouse.
There's a lot of A24 movies out there that have been rated as some of the best movies like of the year or something like that. Like I saw some Instagram posts talking about it. We could check out High Life. But it's on a premium subscription of Hulu, which kind of sucks. And Amazon. I'll put it in the thing. High Life. Cosmopolis, I think, is the name of the other Pattinson movie. It has a 5.1. It was from like 2012. So that was just another one. That was Pattinson as well. But yeah, I'm gonna pull up the reviews for this just because. I mean, what do you have to say about the movie? Do you have anything you want to talk about?
In terms, let's see.
Any scenes that stuck out to you?
Robert Pattinson's acting was definitely this. The holy grail of this movie. I think that he really makes the scenes much more intense. I like every scene, especially the hospital scene where he's sneaking around trying to figure out how to get his brother out. All the one-on-one sneaking around trying to solve things scenes with him were awesome. The ending was kind of... The problem with this movie is it's so short that when you get to that final build-up, spoiler alerts here, when you get to that final build-up of him getting arrested, not only are you already expecting it's not going to end well, but it's like there wasn't a lot of payoff. Like there was like, he's like, all right, I think the cops are coming, and then it's like, all right, that and then it just happens, and he's arrested.
It was like a little rushed.
Yeah, and it was like, well, listen, I did get to know this character, but there's it's like besides his brother's life, there's very little motivation as to why I should feel so surprised and stunned at the end of this movie, because you kind of see it coming. There's like no way he's getting out of this unfazed. He gets arrested and the guy who was helping him dies, and it's like, all right, I kind of saw this all coming, or like, not the guy dying, but like, you're like, all right, there's nothing phenomenal, at the end of this. It's like a heist movie gone wrong, but because of the tone and atmosphere of the movie from the beginning that it was going to go wrong. I do actually really like the bank robbery scene. I like how we got to see their tactics, and he's like, listen, we're gonna use the mask, and he's like, oh shit, there's we think we're gonna get away, the money's tagged, gotta hide all the clothing, store the money. The cop notices just a little bit of red on the guy's sweatshirt. I like that a lot. But overall, I don't think there was anything like amazingly special about this. Like, I don't think, besides Robert Pattinson's acting, if he wasn't in this, I don't think we would watch this.
If he wasn't in this, it probably wouldn't have been as good.
Yeah, I mean, because
I partially want to watch Cosmopolis just because people said it was awful, and I just want to see how bad it is.
Cosmopolis.
If it is like that bad.
It's got a 64%.
I also saw an interview with Robert Pattinson, and he was talking about that role. I think he said he had a good time with it. I can't recall. But I just kind of want to check it out just for
What
the hell
is
of
it?
it.
Wait, what is this movie? It kind of looks dope. Riding across Manhattan in a stretched limo in order to get a haircut, 28-year-old billionaire asset manager finds his day devolving into an odyssey, encountering a host of eccentric characters and seeing his huge financial investments collapse. So it's all about getting a haircut?
He was Bruce Wayne before, you know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Bruce Wayne.
Well, you know how you know it's not so good? You can find it on the Roku channel. Like,
Oh God.
it's like, uh-oh. We're in a hotel. We're in a 3-star hotel now.
It's also on Prime.
Oh, okay. But,
Um,
yeah, honestly,
I really liked the circus scene, like that amusement park, that whole layout.
oh, yeah, that was cool.
Um,
All his
what did you think of
tactics.
what did you think about that Italian guy?
Which one?
The guy that he thought was his brother, but it just
Oh,
ended up being an Italian guy.
it was.
that,
I thought it was funny. I do like that the entire time you're with Pattinson and you're getting to understand. Like, the one thing they do right is, like, all his thoughts, are on the table. Like, all right, like, listen, you got to stay quiet. I didn't realize you weren't my brother. Stuff like that. Like, little things. Like, all the little details. I like how they kept that. They could have just rushed through all that like an Ocean's movie,
Yeah. The one thing I was confused about, and the more that I think about it as the movie comes back to me, like, did they have a place that they lived at? Like, I know they mentioned their grandmother a lot.
Yeah, I assume
It was never fully clear, like, if they ran away from their grandmother, if they were homeless, or like what? Because
yeah, I assume they were living with their grandmother, and once the brother got arrested, the other one, like Pattinson, knew he couldn't go home. And then he had that girlfriend kind of that he like. Actually, that's
underage girl.
No, the girlfriend that he tried to use the credit card, her mom's credit card.
Oh, right.
I actually there must be like
she's in Atypical. She's the mom from Atypical.
Oh, there's like 3 scenes I really loved in this movie where, like, did you notice this? Like, Robert Pattinson's character had really good, like, manipulation in this movie. Like, tricking people. He did that 3 or 4 times in this movie, and it was pretty cool each time.
Yeah.
It
was definitely... It was written really well. It checks the boxes, right? Checks the writing box. Written very well. Some confusing parts, just by the way that they decided to structure the movie. Visuals were cool, Pattinson, great job acting. Whatever we saw of his brother, that was fine. But, like, when I go to the ratings, like, let me pull it up here.
Yeah, well, here, let me put it on stream. So we're going to start with IMDb?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, when I look at the rating, I'm just kind of like...
30% for 8s. 28% for 7s.
It's kind of like,
Almost 7... Almost 14% for a 9 out of 10.
I'm just...
Dude, I'm totally in the same boat as you.
It's a 92% fresh tomato as well. I gotta see what the critics are saying about this movie, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. Like, this movie is not a 7 for me.
I see your score before I see your score.
I'll just say that. Yeah, I'll agree with Beaver.
Well, don't say your score yet.
I'm not saying that it's a 6, but like I agree like with that score.
Yeah.
So I don't know why people went so high on this movie. I don't know. So like people are saying Pattinson exudes pure energy as though he leaped into the role so completely that Connie has taken over.
That's the main thing. Is he is this movie.
Yeah.
I think it's because we're so used to Robert Pattinson that we expected the rest of the movie to be great too. Like, if we weren't Pattinson fans, we hadn't watched his work, I think we'd have a different viewpoint on this. But because we expect top notch from him, everything else not being top notch kind of, made us a little sad. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of stuff has come out for Pattinson since this.
Yeah. You also, I think you and I both you and I accidentally had really high expectations for this movie. I had it just because you had recommended
because
it so much.
it's so hyped up too. Like when you're looking at these ratings, 92% fresh tomato, like
Yeah.
that's like a lot.
The filmmaking and cinematography is awesome. Like it is all good, but it's just, something's lacking. You know, I think the
it's
ending
just missing. Yeah, it was missing something.
It was missing an ending that gripped me, and just seeing him get arrested.
I wanted to see him.
Yeah.
Like they just left us without seeing him.
Well, he does that lighthouse thing where he just stares, you know, but there was no payoff for that. Like they earned that in the lighthouse where he just stares into the camera, you know, because he's going crazy. But like this was like. Yeah, it was the ending for me, to be honest with you. The ending was just not what I wanted.
Yeah, it was just lacking that.
Like, you see the guy we cared about for 10 minutes die, and you're like, uh-oh, and then he goes to jail. Like, that's it.
Like, I don't know what these critics were on.
I mean,
were
to
they
be
drinking
fair,
some of that acid when they were watching this movie that guy had?
To be fair, I think in this movie it's more about the journey, not the end. Because I think, like we said, we're expecting him to go to jail. But the journey was high. It was intense. Like Bifa said,
they definitely nailed the intensity of it.
Yeah.
Did it get any awards?
I don't know.
Wait, no. Good Time was put up for... Where did I hear about it?
I don't know.
I'll have to go back and check. I heard about it. 49 nominations, 9 awards, or 8 wins. One. He didn't even win like any Best Actor stuff for it.
Only bad movies win awards. It's funny. There definitely are some. Because the critics ones, you know.
Yeah.
I
don't know. The critics.
This might be a critic movie. You know, one of the ones where they love it and then the audience.
It is.
What's the audience score?
Is.
Well, let's go. We can switch. I usually we talk more about this,
was
but
82%.
Oof, that's high too, man. That's high as well.
I mean, everybody's sort of just. I'm looking at the IMDb reviews.
Yeah, I'm on Rotten Tomatoes for the stream.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm just I'm just scrolling through the titles to see what they say.
Chaotic, wildly inventive, but increasingly self-indulgent.
I think this is one of the movies that, for Pattinson and for people that want to see him, critics love sniffing through. I think this was something for Pattinson where he was not finally getting away from Twilight, but he was finally getting recognized as more than Twilight, because people were having a hard time seeing him separate from that. You know, oh look, that's Robert Pattinson, the guy from Twilight. Look, he's that vampire, right? This finally broke that mold for him. And then we saw movies afterwards, because Tenet comes after this movie. Tenet is 2020. Lighthouse was 2019.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is before all that. This is before all that.
What else was he in?
You got to remember, this is before all that, so maybe we're also a little biased from seeing all these amazing Pattinson movies.
You know, because this movie basically gave him his break from Twilight, and they're like, look, Robert Pattinson can do other things.
Yeah, I mean he's
not
big.
A bad actor. So maybe that was it. Maybe that's why this movie got such high reviews, because people.
Here's an interesting review I wanted to read. 4 stars. A gritty, anxiety-inducing heist gone wrong film, capturing the kinetic energy and depressing vibe of those eking out of a living, legal and illegal, in the big city. The acting is phenomenal, with a powerhouse performance by Robert Pattinson in a surprisingly pungent. What is it? Why have I not seen that word? Pungent performance by co-director Benny Safdie, who plays Pattinson's brother. A wild ride. It is a wild ride, but not what I'm satisfied with. All right, man. I think we should get to our review here. I think it's time.
Yes.
Get the numbers in.
I want you to start. I want you to break the ice. Yeah.
Oh, the tension.
I'm doing that to you. I'm doing that to you. Just leave that photo of his face there, of him looking like that.
I don't want to disappoint him. Pattinson. We love Pat. I feel bad. Like,
he's not gonna watch this.
Pattinson, please, if you're watching, we're your biggest fans.
Robert Pattinson, if you're watching this, mute us.
This isn't about you,
right
man.
now, Robert.
Okay. Robert Pattinson's acting is incredible in this, but I was not left fully satisfied. It's one of those movies you want to like really bad, but you like. I'm gonna give this. I feel a 7 feels so criminal to me. Because I don't know.
He's a criminal.
Oh yeah, that's true. Dirtbag. Man. Yeah, I honestly wasn't that entertained for this. I'm gonna have to give this a 6.5 for me. A 6.5.
You made that sound like it was like it was devastating.
Like to me, a 6.5 is real. I mean, that's not terrible. It's yeah. It's experimental. That's a good word to use for this movie. Experimental. Not my.
I don't know.
It's a good movie.
Like I think we're on the same page. I am a harsher critic, except when it comes to movie 43. Movie 43 is a masterpiece.
Stop.
I
know that is low for me. That's really low for me, but I'm not satisfied. Tough choice, isn't it?
I think I think if we got a little bit more like of a connection, like obviously we see that Pattinson cares for his brother. I think this movie would have benefited if it was a little longer, so they had time to give us a little bit more backstory and build that connection between him and his brother, and then we see the reason they go for robbing the bank, and then everything else plays out the same. I just needed a little bit more of a reason to care about them.
Yeah.
Because I simply did not care for his brother. Because I just feel like the brother didn't do much he didn't say much for me. Like, I know he was deaf and whatever, but like I don't know what was wrong with him unless they said it and I missed it. I'm gonna go a little lower than you. I'm gonna go in at a 6.3, and we can meet in the middle at a 6.4.
I don't think he was deaf.
He had hearing aids.
Maybe. I think he was mentally disabled. Yeah, I think he was mentally disabled at the beginning. It's kind of like the idea that scene at the beginning was really well done.
It was
emotional.
A number of things.
Yeah, it needed 20 more minutes to like get to know them prior, because like they just straight up, he's like, get out of this place, now let's go rob a bank. You're like, wait, why are you robbing a bank?
Yeah.
Like how close are you guys? Like
Grandma doesn't love you, and he's like, you're the only one that loves me, Connie.
Yeah, so it's like it needed.
And it's like, what?
It needed a little more setup and a better payoff. That's all I'll say. That's my final. That's my piece. That's my piece.
Overall, really great Pattinson performance.
Yeah,
I can
amazing.
see why this is his best performance. His
Not
performance obviously would probably get like a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
But the movie overall, 6.3 for me. Do you want to meet? Is a 6.4 okay with you?
Yeah, 6.4. It is what it is, man. So actually, before you get to see this new thing we started doing, this is the first time we're premiering it live.
The Intergalactic Movie Rankings.
The Intergalactic Movie Rankings. Let's see if it worked. Let's see. Yes. So this is like we're gonna be putting. So this is 2022 on the top, right? That way. This is every movie we watched this year. And now a 6 point. I'm gonna have to change this like in post, obviously. But yeah, we're gonna put this at a 6 point.
Are we considering this a favorite?
2. Wait for the stream to load to see how I'm looking at you.
What?
This is my response.
Why is that your what? What's
Because
happening?
why would it be a favorite?
Oh. So no.
No, and then I'm gonna put it in the. Let's put it in the little rankings.
Why can't-
Let's see, we're at.
Not a favorite.
Wah, wah,
I don't
wah,
like it.
wah.
I don't like it. Definitely Top Gun Maverick next. Top Gun Maverick.
It is in the list.
Do you know of any other 4D movie theaters that's close
Wait.
by? So if you want to see it in 4D.
No, not nearby. We can look it up though. But
Escape Room.
Yes, I know. I just saw his comment.
Escape Room.
We can't. Well,
Higher than.
there's a couple reasons.
Okay, there's a reason that scored higher, and that's because that was our crossover event, and that was a combination of 4 reviews.
Yeah, we did
I think. What did I give it? I gave it like a 6 something too.
Yeah,
Like, I did it pretty low.
Escape Room, if you find it on our YouTube, is we did a crossover episode with another podcast. So there were 4 of us who had watched the movie and review it. So for that episode alone, the ITM review is a combined average of 4 people's individual ratings, not just the 2 of us. So yes, Luca did put that movie below Good Time.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you did. You gave it a 6. I think you gave it a flat 6.
See, I am like.
Yeah, you gave it a flat 6. You gave it a flat 6.
You ranked it pretty high.
I
was surprised.
I was very satisfied. I don't watch a lot of horror films or scary movies, but like especially the environments.
We'll see.
were really
We'll see
cool.
if High Life is scarier than Escape Room, because that's labeled as a horror as well.
Well, also, I think I'm guessing it's obvious, but just in case it's not, I'll say it on stream. So we have 0 to 10. This is every movie we've seen in 2022. It is not just 22 releases. It is any movie we had seen, because when we get to our award show, the end of the year award show will incorporate every movie we had seen that year. But there will also be a movie of the year category. There'll be movie of the year for every movie we watched and movie of the year for 2022. And also anything under the star.
According to us.
Yes, and anything under the star is is a movie we have deemed a favorite, something we'd recommend to watch again and show to friends and stuff like that. That's Good Times, 6.4. Sad. I think we overhyped ourselves on this one, Luca. I think we got ahead of ourselves. I think
this one was misleading from the reviews.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Top Gun real quick. I haven't read any reviews.
The sadness on Shudder.
I have not read any reviews. The sadness.
Oh, it's a horror movie came out.
Well,
in
we don't want
2021.
the only reason we did horror movies is
Yeah.
because of the crossover. Like, Cody and I don't watch horror movies in our free time.
No, we did a crossover with Killer Point of View. They are a horror movie reviewing podcast.
They want it. So
we will do another. Yeah.
We were planning on doing another crossover. It's just now our schedules are getting all over the place.
We will do another crossover.
I think. Well, we told them to go hard on us. I wanted them to pick something that was really scary.
Yeah, the scariest.
So we'll watch. We'll put some stuff up there. But Top Gun, I've been hearing some mixed reviews.
Really,
I've heard that some people really love it, and I've heard that some people really hate it and said it was a flop.
Well,
some people are like, this is the best movie of 2022, and some are like, no.
Here's the thing. IMDb, 8.7 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes, 97%.
Whoa!
User,
fresh?
let me check in a sec. And then Google user reviews, that's a lot of people, is 95% positive.
Is that a certified fresh? Or
That is 97% certified fresh. Audience score.
Oh my God.
Audience score at 99%.
What?
Dude, Tom Cruise always comes in packing. Like, I love Tom Cruise movies.
Dude,
so
wow.
I am all right. We're gonna have to see this week. I'm gonna put this on stream. We're gonna go back
I mean, of course it's a money. Like, what they're gonna release
Well,
another Top Gun. Like,
I don't think it's
how
that.
many years later?
I was gonna say I don't think
is
it's. I don't think it's that much of a money grab because it's nice to
Dude,
see
that's
this
crazy.
character.
99 out of 5,000 reviews.
The reason I don't think it's a money grab is because like a money grab would have been like Top Gun 2, Top Gun 3, like years after the release. But it's been a long time, and I think it's just like.
And Tom
it's a
Cruise
passion.
has not
Yeah,
aged.
it's a Tom Cruise passion project. You know, they didn't have to do this. I think it's cool. We get to see Goose's son and all
So
that.
are we gonna watch it in 4D?
Yeah, I definitely think 4D is the way to go because I love Doctor Strange 4D, and when they played the Top Gun trailer in 4D and the chair, the plane rolls and everything, it was like.
Am I gonna get like motion sickness? Like, I'm like,
oh God, no! It's
am
dude,
I gonna be feeling
right.
the G's and be
You're,
like,
you're not gonna be like, holy shit! Like,
Jesus Christ, Cody!
no, I'd say,
Like,
okay, really hard. It's hard to tell on camera, but like, I'm gonna move my hands with how much tilt the chairs have. So like, I don't know, if the plane leaned right, it would go like that, nothing crazy, but it does vibrate and everything, and you do feel all the motions. Did you, Biffer? Did you see the new Top Gun? Best movie remake after a long break from the original. Yeah, I mean, let's see. I guess Avatar is going to have to compete with such a long break.
Oh my God! Avatar. I'm like my expectations were high for Good Times, but my expectations for Avatar are like super high.
Dude, I have no expectations for that. I mean,
Have you seen the first one?
Yes, but do you know how long ago that was? And like, yes, they
Watch
were.
it again.
I know, but they were the pioneers of 3D, of like almost full CGI movies, and the problem was like, yeah, but now look at Marvel and Disney. So
Yeah,
what do you?
I
What? How
feel like
special?
They're gonna take it to the next level.
Next level? How are you going to beat Disney in CGI? Like, what's so
They
next?
did it back in the day.
Yeah, they did because look at
Disney
what.
had the money back then. They could have been doing it.
Yeah, but they only had.
I feel like this is
Dude,
going to be
that's
a
not true
ton
at
of
all.
water simulations. There's going to be a ton of water simulations.
Yeah,
Because it's like something about water.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
what
look
I'm
at the
confused
water
about
sims.
Avatar is I thought they got rid of the guys on the planet, like all the humans and stuff. Like
No, they coexist.
maybe I'm like forgetting something, or like I know they like ran away or whatever into like the jellyfish forest or whatever it was.
Jellyfish forest.
That's what
Yeah.
it looked like.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with the planet. I think I'd have to go back and watch it again, even though like I've seen it a couple times.
No, I can't watch that again. I mean, I.
Your 200 terabyte server.
My
Jeez.
my expectations are. Yeah, you guys pioneered it, but you can't compare Disney then to Disney now because Disney then for Marvel only had Iron Man 1, I think, was out when Avatar came out or something like that.
Yeah, but I don't
so
know.
it was
I
like,
think-
and that
I
was still
think-
incredible.
I think they know that they have a bar to set, and
Listen, I
if
don't
they were
want to.
capable of doing that back then with whoever did it. Imagine what they'd be capable of doing now.
Okay, listen, I don't want to make this like a Half-Life situation, but it's starting to feel like that. Where if it's been this long,
It's gonna come out.
I know, but when it's been this long, the expectations are so through the roof. It's going to be like Good Time times 100. You're expecting so much, and it's going to be good, but still, it can be a great movie, but your expectations are so high that you're going to be like, no, it was no good.
They're fighting a war against the humans again, which makes me think like, why?
Yeah, I thought we
were over that.
We'll see. I don't know.
I mean, he's got like long hair now. He looks cool. We're gonna see some pretty cool.
I want blue people to rule
Flying
Earth.
guys.
Yes, blue people.
people.
Well, we're about to hit 50 minutes here.
All right.
I think that's
Probably wrap it up.
I think that's wrapping it up
It's gonna be an interesting movie, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see where they take it.
for sure. Top Gun, I think is next.
Top Gun is definitely next.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, okay.
We gotta find a time to watch that.
I know Mandy
sure.
really wants to see it too, so
Okay.
We're gonna be at
have
the-
to do it on a weekend.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna be at the mall tomorrow night. I don't know if you're free. Avatar 3, I want blue people to rule the guy. Yes, more blue people!
Avatar 3, like, they just start going to other planets.
Yeah.
Destroying civilizations with their sticks.
Sticks.
But yeah, so alright. Good time. High expectations. Mid-tier delivery.
Poor payoff.
Collective 6.4 out
Yeah.
of 10.
Yeah.
Next movie up, Top Gun Maverick with the homie Tom Cruise. And maybe after Top Gun we'll be like, let's get on a Tom Cruise binge.
Dude, oh my god.
Which is not a bad binge.
If
to be
you
on.
if you told me that we were gonna binge and review the Mission Impossibles, I'd lose my mind. That'd be so
we
cool.
could totally do a series on that. I'm fine with that.
That'd be like a cool in-person thing, like watching them together and reviewing.
We could definitely green screen ourselves onto the side of a building with him.
Yeah, I'm like, what are we doing up here?
I thought you said we were getting ice cream, Tom.
Yeah.
What are we doing on the side of a building in Dubai? But alright.
Yeah.
I am feeling pretty tired today.
And I'm feeling hungry. It's time to make some chicken.
Beefer, always good to see you.
American made.
Beefer's turned into...
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us, man. And thank you for
American
hanging
Made.
out. I have
Isn't American Made the drug one? Like the Colombian drug one or something like that?
I don't know, but we'll get it.
I think I've seen that one. Which, that movie is really good.
So
any Tom Cruise movie is a possible banger.
yeah, I mean, when he's the director, it just goes off. You know, all those Mission Impossibles are amazing. I mean, there's only one or two that are bad, but the rest of them are incredible. There's another one on the way. Well, Biffer, thank you so much for joining and hanging out with us. We really appreciate it. We hope you enjoyed, and we will be letting you know.
Hopefully we delivered on the review.
Yeah, I mean, you said a 6, we said a 6.4. That's pretty...
I said a 6.3.
Yeah.
You said a 6.5.
Yeah, so I guess we were all pretty
Beaver
much in the
said
same ballpark.
You said a 6.
Yeah, so we hope you enjoyed. Top Gun will be coming, I guess, hopefully within the next week. We can get that out at some point, see it together. Yeah. If you want to see when we, I'll just say this to everybody, if you want to see if you want to see where we are, what we're doing, that's going to be on our Instagram. We'll post, when we're going live, what's coming next, reviews, like little 60-second reviews and all that. Yeah, so...
Oh, and we also created a Facebook page. We gotta add that.
Yes.
We gotta drop the Twitter and add the Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see how that all goes. The poor Twitter. Poor Twitter. Twitter's like...
I've been posting.
Yeah? Okay. Cool.
I posted about the Johnny Depp and Amber trial.
Why?
There.
Why? Is that a movie? Is that a movie we're reviewing?
Well, I was just look. It's an actor. All right.
That's true.
It's
movie news.
related.
That's true. She actually that did affect her role in Aquaman too. So that's fair.
And I was like,
that's fair.
Look, actually, we got to throw this in the title, and we'll talk about it, and we'll put a little. Actually, clip this. So, Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial coming to a close. I don't know if you've been paying attention to it, Cody.
I have. I've been watching a lot of it. Yeah.
I've been watching a ton of it. Team Johnny. Personal opinion, I think he's gonna win the case.
Yeah, me too. I think that.
I think there's a lot of evidence against her. Now, who's to say that he didn't do anything, to her? I'm sure it was a mutual thing, but the stuff that she's brought to the table is not convincing me that he did anything.
Well, since they found evidence of a bruise kit, like a makeup kit to make bruises,
kit.
And she literally said it by accident, so, yeah.
So, after all the deliberations, and she didn't, she's like, my dog stepped on a bee,
I saw someone post about how it's like really convincing she's not lying, and it's because every time she says something, she looks right at the jury. like she just like looks over and she's like, "That did not happen."
So, actually, an interesting thing. I was talking about this at work, and the jury, I think, is siding with Depp on things, and yeah, I mean, just an interesting trial overall. And that tweet is what I'm talking about. That tweet ended up getting like 467 views or something like that, but nobody really liked it or commented anything on it, so it didn't do well.
I had watched a lot of the trial, and from what I've seen, and maybe I've missed a few clips, but from what I've seen, the majority of people that Depp's team puts on the stands does really well, right? They had a psychiatrist who basically debunked what a previous psychiatrist, and I think it's psychiatrist, sorry if I'm wrong on that, but I think it's a psychiatrist, or a psychologist actually, who was saying that the previous psychologist who basically came on the stand and said these things about Depp, like his mental conditions, it was inappropriate and like malpractice, because you're not supposed you can't give opinions on someone mentally without actually having diagnosed them and be with them, you know. It's called the Goldwater rule, I think it is, that he mentions, and it's like you can't like he said Johnny Depp had a speech impediment and all this stuff, and he's like, you can't, it's literally it's wrong, like you can't just do that, you can't just say someone has all these things from watching a video on them or watching clips of them, you know what I mean? And then, you know, there was a bunch of things like they couldn't prove the photos weren't like they couldn't prove Amber Heard's photos weren't changed. So like literally everyone Amber Heard's team threw on the stands, the other team ripped apart, and it was like, so, you know, it was hard to watch and not just be like, I mean, even everyone in the comments and the videos is just like, yeah, it's like Depp's gonna win this, like no problem, because like her team is just, her lawyer seems really bad. I mean, compared to Depp's team, like on the point and all that, and yeah, it wasn't pretty to watch. It was entertaining though. You know, we haven't had a good celebrity trial in years.
I know, right? My God.
I mean, you know, yeah, it was an interesting watch. Definitely, I was curious. As ITM, I think one of my main things was I was very curious to see how this affected her career in terms of her DC.
What career?
Her DC appearances because of Aquaman.
What career? Her trash performance as what's her face?
Yeah, it was. You know, she's So, dude, well, let's not bash her. Let's not bash her.
Was like Jason Momoa was like
Jason Momoa.
He's like he totally wants her gone. There was no screen chemistry.
Yeah.
No on-screen chemistry.
So I agree.
All right, Cody, wrap it up.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Just wanted to talk about that briefly.
Movie Knots. Biffer, congratulations. You are now knighted a Movie Knot. Thank you so much for joining.
For moderator.
Yes. Thank you all so much for joining. We hope you enjoyed this episode. We should be live next week with the Top Gun Maverick review. We're very excited about that. So follow us on our Instagram to find out when we're going live and see other cool posts and reviews that we do, as well as skits. And also subscribe to this YouTube channel so you can see more reviews. Join us live. You know, share your thoughts. This is really the reason we do it live, is because we want it to be more like a show. And yeah, thank you so much. Yes. Peace, Biffer. Good to see you. Thank you very much. And we will see you all in the next episode of Into the Movieverse. Whoa.
Bye.